One Piece fans, today we are here with truly major news. Because in Netflix's live-action One Piece universe, the next big adventure is no longer just an expectation. It has officially set sail. Season 3 filming has wrapped. A new set photo has arrived. The official title of the season has been revealed, and now we can clearly say this. The Straw Hat crew is heading toward one of the Grand Line's most legendary trials, Alabasta. Throughout this video, we will talk about the new official information Netflix has shared, and we will also look at the major developments on the cast side. First, let's start with the biggest news. One Piece Season 3 production officially wrapped. In other words, filming for the third season has been completed on the Cape Town, South Africa set. This is very important, because Season 3 is no longer just a project that is in the writing stage, being prepared, or planned from a distance. The cameras have stopped, the crew is reaching the point of leaving the set, and Netflix has now started marketing the new season in a more open way. For a series, this stage usually means the real countdown has now begun. Because after this, post-production, effects, editing, sound, music, and final touches come into play. The new photo Netflix shared is important for that reason too. In the photo, Luffy, Nami, Zoro, Usopp, Sanji, and Princess Vivi are seen together. Even this single frame actually tells us the spirit of Season 3. Because Vivi is no longer someone who looks like just a side character. She is the person at the center of the story. The fact that she is standing beside the Straw Hats shows that Alabasta is not just a background for this season. The heart of this season will be Vivi, because this time, the crew is not just stopping by a new island. They are trying to save a kingdom, a people, and a friend's dream. The official title of the third season is now also confirmed. One Piece, The Battle of Alabasta. This title really says a lot. Because Netflix did not just say Season 3. It gave the season a direct Alabasta-centered identity. That also makes the focus of the story clear. A major war, civil unrest, a desert kingdom, the Baroque Works threat, and Crocodile's shadow. So, on the live-action side, we are now moving beyond smaller adventure steps and entering a period of political intrigue, emotional drama, and large-scale action. The Alabasta arc has a very special place in the world of One Piece. For many fans, this arc is seen as the point where One Piece truly reached another level. Because here, we are not just watching a funny, colorful, and adventurous pirate journey. We are also seeing a country on the edge of war, a manipulated population, an enemy who uses his power from behind the curtain, and a crew that risks everything for friendship. That is why Alabasta is both a huge opportunity and a huge test for the live-action version. Season 2 had already prepared the road for this big story. With Into the Grand Line, the Straw Hats entered the Grand Line, saw new islands, faced more dangerous enemies, and the presence of Baroque Works started to be felt more seriously. Stops like Logetown, Reverse Mountain, Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, and Drum Island were not just adventures, they were chapters laying the stones on the road to Alabasta. Season 3 will be the season that pays off all of that preparation. According to Netflix's official logline, in Season 3, Luffy and the Straw Hats will face a growing war in Vivi's homeland of Alabasta. The country is being pushed to the edge of collapse by a rebellion, but the most dangerous part is this. There is no ordinary political crisis behind this rebellion. Behind the curtain, there is Sir Crocodile, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, and his underground organization, Baroque Works. So this time, the Straw Hats will not only fight a powerful enemy, but an organized plan that is collapsing an entire country from the inside. Crocodile looks like he will be the biggest threat of the season here. Because Crocodile is not just a physically powerful enemy, he is also strategic, cold-blooded, and someone who can use people for his own plans. To take over Alabasta, he turns the people's anger, the kingdom's weaknesses, and the country's chaotic situation to his advantage. That is why Luffy's confrontation with Crocodile will not just be a fight where fists do the talking. This means Luffy will, for the first time, truly stand against a major power system, a warlord, and a plan that threatens an entire country. On the main Straw Hat cast side, the good news is this. The crew is coming back. Iñaki Godoy will return as Monkey D. Luffy, Makanyu as Zoro, Emily Rudd as Nami, Jacob Romero as Usopp, and Taz Skylar as Sanji in Season 3. The return of this cast is very important, because one of the strongest parts of live-action One Piece was already the chemistry between the Straw Hats. If a big and emotional arc like Alabasta is going to work, the audience really needs to believe in this crew. On the Princess Vivi side, Charithra Chandran is moving into a much more central role. In Season 2, Vivi's entrance into the story was actually the beginning of the bigger plan, but in Season 3, her true identity, her kingdom, and her responsibility will fully come to the forefront. Vivi should not be written as just a princess who needs to be saved, because the emotional power of the Alabasta arc comes from her loyalty to her people. If the series handles this well, Vivi could become one of the characters fans connect with the most on the live-action side. Tony Chopper will also be one of the characters who appears more in Season 3. After Michaela Hoover's Chopper performance was introduced in Season 2, in the third season, Chopper will now join the Alabasta adventure as a true member of the crew. This is important too, because Chopper's innocence, his identity as a doctor, and the new energy he brings to the crew can create a nice contrast with the harsh atmosphere of Alabasta. While on one side there is war, desert, betrayal, and political chaos, on the other side, the presence of a more emotional and pure character like Chopper can soften the heart of the season. The fact that Joe Manganiello will have a bigger role as Mr. Zero, meaning Sir Crocodile, is also very exciting. In the same way, Lara Abova's Miss All Sunday and Sendhil Ramamurthy's King Nefertari Cobra are also rising into more important positions for Season 3. This detail makes me think the season will show not only the Straw Hat side, but also the power dynamics inside Alabasta in more detail. Crocodile's plan, Robin's mysterious presence, and King Cobra's effort to keep his country standing could become one of the main dramatic lines of the season. One of the biggest names on the new cast side is definitely Zolo Maridueña. Known for Cobra Kai and Blue Beetle, Zolo will appear in Season 3 as Portgas de Ace. Ace's entrance into the story is a huge moment for the One Piece universe, because he is not just a cool character, he is also very important to Luffy's past, family, and emotional journey. Introducing Ace the right way in the live-action version could be one of the most talked-about moments of the season for both new viewers and manga, anime fans. On the Bon Clay side, Cola Scola joining the cast is a very interesting choice. Netflix describes him as a dangerous assassin who brings theatricality, performance, and combat together. On paper, the Bon Clay character may look very colorful, very energetic, and very exaggerated, but when handled correctly, he can turn into one of the most unforgettable characters in One Piece. For the live-action version, there is a delicate balance here. The character's theatrical side must be protected, but his emotional impact should not be lost either. If this balance works, Bon Clay could become one of the surprise favorites of the season. The Baroque Works side is also expanding now. Daisy Head joins the Season 3 cast as Miss Doublefinger, and Otto joins as Mr. One. The presence of these two characters shows that the war in Alabasta will not be just about Crocodile. We may see powerful individual opponents in personal trials for Zoro, Sanji, Nami, Usopp, and the other crew members. Especially characters like Mr. One can create moments where the live-action series can really shine in terms of action, choreography, and character development. There is also a notable change on the creative team side. In Season 3, Ian Stokes will serve as co-showrunner, writer, and executive producer alongside Joe Trax. Eiichiro Oda continuing to be involved in the project as an executive producer is also a reassuring detail for fans. Because in a world as massive, colorful, and sometimes very difficult to adapt as One Piece, having the original creator involved in the process is very important. This was also one of the biggest reasons why the live-action adaptation was taken so seriously in the first 2 seasons. The production process also shows how much confidence Netflix has in this project. Season 3 is not something that was only discussed very shortly after Season 2 aired. It was actually planned much earlier, and filming began in Cape Town. Now that filming is complete, it makes it feel like Netflix sees One Piece as a long-term live-action franchise. That is good news for fans, because One Piece is not a story that works with short-term thinking. The size of this universe, the character journeys, and the arcs that will come later require patience. On the release date side, the clear thing we know right now is that Season 3 will arrive in 2027, but Netflix has not announced an exact day or month yet. So any information you see online saying it is coming in this month should not be treated as confirmed information for now. It should be seen more as speculation. The fact that filming has wrapped is a good sign, but for a major season like Alabasta, the post-production process will be very important. Desert battles, massive sets, devil fruit powers, characters like Chopper, and big action scenes will require serious visual work. Visually, Alabasta could be the most ambitious season of live-action One Piece so far, because this time, there is not just a ship, a town, or a small island atmosphere. There is an entire desert kingdom, palaces, rebellion scenes, Baroque Works bases, preparations for war, and Crocodile's sand-themed power. If Netflix truly makes this world feel big, Season 3 could capture not only One Piece fans, but also general viewers who love fantasy adventure. Because the point of Alabasta is not just that it is an anime arc. Cinematically, it also offers a very powerful war and kingdom story. Of course, the biggest risk here will be pacing. Alabasta is a beloved arc because it gives time to the characters, emotions, and conflict. If the live-action season moves too fast, Vivi's desperation, the divided people, the The weight of Crocodile's plan and the Straw Hat's sacrifice may not feel strong enough. But if the series finds the right pace, this could be the season where live-action One Piece makes people say, "This is why this adaptation works." So Season 3 does not only have to be bigger, it has to be more emotional, more patient, and more impactful. In my opinion, One Piece. The Battle of Alabasta could be the true turning point of Netflix's adaptation. The first season introduced the world. Season 2 opened the gates of the Grand Line. But Season 3 will show what this crew is truly fighting for. Luffy's leadership, Zoro's limits, Nami's courage, Usopp facing his fears, Sanji's loyalty, Chopper's new family, and Vivi's desire to save her people will all come together in the same story. If Netflix does this right, Alabasta may not just be a good season, but a new level for live-action anime adaptations. So, what do you think? Who are you most excited to see in One Piece Season 3? Ace, Crocodile, Bon Clay, or Vivi's Alabasta story? Do you think Netflix will be able to handle this massive arc with the right pacing, or did Alabasta need a longer season? Make sure to write your thoughts in the comments, because I really want to discuss this topic with you. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support is very important for helping the channel reach more people in the algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.